Now available on Tata Sky channel number 526.
The big story of the day now, a nationwide survey of cities and their civic bodies ranks Mumbai number 1, sharing the top spot with maximum cities, Kerala's capital city, Thiruvananthapuram. The annual survey of India's city systems put out by NGO Janaagraha ranks Kolkata and Pune at number 2 and Bhopal at number 3. National capital Delhi comes in at number 6. Bengaluru doesn't even make it to that top 10. It comes in at number 12. However, the survey has a word of caution for top-rated cities as they compare dismally with their global peers. Now, the report says that Indian civic bodies are still working with band-aid solutions rather than fixing the root of urban problems. In fact, they point to recent urban crisis as a wake-up call to civic bodies. Magic Bricks Now reporters used this report to conduct a SWOT analysis of civic bodies of Mumbai, Pune, Delhi and Bengaluru. Let's begin then with the city that's number 1 on that list. Mumbai tops Janaagraha's annual survey of Indian city systems, or ASICS. Mumbai gained 8 ranks over last year. However, it has a lot of ground to cover when compared with other global cities like London and New York. Disha Shah got us this report on what makes Mumbai tick.
Mumbai has been ranked number 1 when it comes to city administration according to an annual survey by Janaagraha. To begin with good things that the survey highlighted, first and foremost, the Maharashtra Rights to Public Services Act, which was passed last year. The survey says that this has been the most important component which has led Mumbai to top the list, because the act talks about speeding up public services by the administration in a time-bound manner and at a nominal cost. Secondly, BMC as an independent body, a civic body, has its own share of revenues and is not likely and is not quite dependent on either state or centre for funds. Thirdly, large pool of civic staff, and fourth, stable civic leadership. So all these are hit points when it comes to civic body BMC. But on the other hand, the survey says that a lot needs to be covered on ground when we compare it with the global competitors like New York or London. For instance, it's a wake-up call for the civic body when it comes to preparing a development plan for the city, which has been delayed by good 2 years and which is still currently in a draft state. So that needs to be prepared on ground. Secondly, the survey also has given a poor score when it comes to addressing citizens' complaint. So of course, this is very well evident if we take an example of the Deonar case, which has been, the fire has been repeatedly breaking on ground. Citizens have been complaining day in and day out, but none of the solutions have been provided on ground by the civic body. So the survey highlights that this needs immediate attention. So lastly, all in all, despite being ranked number 1, the survey highlights that a lot needs to be improved on ground if we compare it with the global competitors.
All right, moving on to Pune, which comes in at number 4. The city gained 4 ranks over last year. Rishi Deshpande got us this report on the smart city in the making. Listen in.
Well, the city of Pune has jumped 4 places from its ranking in 2015 to secure the 4th position in a survey conducted by Janaagraha in association with ICSIS. Now, the survey states that while Pune scores a lot on the administrative side, there are a few misses as well. So just to begin with, first off, Pune has basically been ranked 4 in this survey for this year. This boost to the rank is primarily due to the Maharashtra Right to Public Services Act that was introduced last year, that is in 2015. In addition to this, the city also has a decentralized development structure where it involves a lot of its local bodies and its local wards when it comes to the development of the city. In addition to this, the city also has an adequate power supply that helps a lot of infrastructure projects get along. The flip side to this is the fact that Pune does score a low on some fronts. First off, the city does not have a development plan in place. Moving on, the city scores a little low on in terms of public infrastructure, especially compared to its big sister, the city of Mumbai. Moving on, it also scores a low on skilled labor, and the most important of them of all is that the city is poor when it comes to addressing citizens' grievances.
Next on the list is national capital Delhi, which comes in at number 6. Now, this year around, Delhi has slipped down the order. Livability of the city has suffered due to high pollution levels. Aishwarya Palwal sent in this report.
Capital New Delhi has slipped a notch in this year's ranking. This year, it's standing at number 6. Now, let me tell you about some of the parameters on which the city fared really well. Starting with very good urban planning by civic authorities. Another thing that urban planning bodies have done is that they have given local wards all the power that they need to implement all the plans that they have for the city. Another thing that Delhi has is that it has adequate funds to implement infrastructure and services. And last but not the least, they have adequate and very skilled human resources to implement all that they have in mind. Now, those were the good points. Let me tell you about some of the bad points, some of the parameters in which Delhi fared really poorly. First and foremost being the high level of air and water pollution that Delhi citizens are currently facing. Another thing is that Delhi citizens do not turn out when it comes to local body elections. This results in a very poor voter turnout. Last but not the least, Delhi fares very poorly when it comes to transparency, accountability, and people's participation. Now we can say that Delhi's wake-up call has been the high level of air pollution that we have seen in the recent past. And let me tell you that not only is New Delhi India's most polluted city, it also ranks in world's 10 most polluted cities.
Now coming in at number 12, Silicon Valley of India, Bengaluru does not stack up well when compared to the rest of the cities. The only positive is that the city's civic body addresses customer complaints better than the rest of the cities. However, there are several things that don't work for the city. For instance, the city's quality of life is very poor, almost unlivable, says a research conducted by Indian Institute of Science. Additionally, the city also has inadequate laws and policies. In fact, urban planning in the city is poor at all levels, regional, municipal and ward levels. Also remember, citizens have been up in arms with the government on several issues in the city, be it infrastructure or toxic lakes like Belandur and Alsur. Also, ironically, the civic body of the IT hub of India lags behind in adopting information technology. Now, to give us more perspective about the survey, we have Anil Nair of Janaagraha joining us all the way from New Delhi. Thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Bricks. Now, Anil, first of all, the 18 cities that you have ranked don't stack up anywhere near their global competitors, London and New York. Tell us why this is the case.
Which essentially is divided into 4 components of urban planning, urban capacities, empowered political representation and transparency and accountability. So in all these 4 aspects, what we find is that Indian cities are, even the best performing city, in this case Bombay, is way below global standards. Yeah, it's essentially, I mean, the point we are trying to make in the report is that the underlying city systems that govern these 21 cities which form a part of the report are weak in India, and serious attention needs to be paid to these underlying governance and policies by which these cities are governed.
All right. Also, according to the survey, Mumbai, of course, ranks first when compared to the rest of the country. What are the factors that work for Mumbai? Also, does this mean that the quality of life in Mumbai is above average?
Unfortunately, no. What we're sorry to state is that Bombay is ranked first only because all other cities are doing so badly. And if you look at the scores, you'll find that almost all cities are bunched between scores of 2 and 4. And incidentally, on certain aspects, for example, on transparency, thanks to a bill that the Maharashtra government has passed recently, in fact last year, which guarantees citizen services within specific time periods, Maharashtra and Pune Bombay and Pune has improved its scores. The other aspect which Bombay does well is on the quality of leadership. In this case, what we assess is the tenure, stability of tenure of the senior municipal commissioner, the IAS person who is in charge. And we found that both in Bombay and Pune, typically a commissioner has more than 2 to 3 years of a tenure, which is significant given that in most cities we find that the commissioners don't even stay for a year, which seriously affects the ability of the institution to execute plans, have a long-term vision.
All right. Also, Anil, among the metros in India, Bengaluru ranks last in most of the factors that you mentioned. In fact, a recent research by the Indian Institute of Science deems Bengaluru to be unlivable. Would you agree?
The reason for this is Bangalore actually has witnessed the highest growth in the last decade. If you look at the metros, among the 4 metros, Bangalore has grown the fastest, both in terms of population as well as geographical area. And we found that the institution, the BBMP or other institutions, VDA for example, has been unable to keep up with the, in terms of growth to satisfy the demands of the population. It's also partly related to the financial capacities of BBMP as well as the leadership quality at BBMP. But the important point to note, and which we have highlighted in the survey as well, is that Bangalore has significantly improved in transparency. For example, the initiatives that BBMP has taken in the last few months in terms of putting out data, no other city ULB seems to be doing now. So there's a lot of improvement we see in the way BBMP is functioning over the last few months. But you are right that the deterioration in terms of quality of life, it seems to be the worst in Bangalore over the last 5 to 10 years.
All right, Anil, many thanks for joining us here on Magic Bricks Now.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.